In 1954, at Haneda Airport in Tokyo, something quietly unusual occurred. A man arrived on a routine flight from Europe, carrying a passport from a country that no one seemed to recognize. It was a place called Taured. No maps listed it, no records of its existence could be found, and yet the man insisted he was from there. He was described as a well-dressed, confident man in his 30s. His clothes were normal for the era, his accent European, his manners polite and composed. He carried a briefcase. Inside were documents, banknotes, and identification, all claiming that Taured was a sovereign nation. Airport officials were perplexed. When asked where the country was, he pointed to the area that corresponded to modern-day Andorra, a small principality between France and Spain. But when officials checked, no country by that name existed there. The man was questioned. He explained that he had lived and worked in Taured all his life. He spoke of its borders, its cities, its government. He named banks, companies, and streets. All of it sounded plausible, yet none of it matched any records. Officials examined his passport. It appeared legitimate. Stamps, visas, government seals, all present. Yet as far as Japanese authorities could verify, no country called Taured existed. He produced his driver's license, his bank statements, and other identification. Each item bore the same name, the same details. Neighbors, colleagues, and family were unknown to any European consulate. And yet, the man insisted they were real. When asked to clarify, he became frustrated, though never angry. His tone remained calm, measured. The airport staff, unsure what to do, placed him in a small holding area overnight. He seemed perplexed, as if confused by their confusion. He repeatedly asked why he was being held, why they doubted his story. He claimed that he had crossed borders before, that his passport was regularly used, that he had stayed in Japan before without incident. The next day, authorities returned to question him. They attempted to verify his story with neighboring countries. They reached embassies, consulted maps, and even contacted airlines. Nothing confirmed the existence of Taured, yet the man's confidence remained. He produced receipts, company records, and other paperwork, all claiming he came from this country. Officials, unsettled but unwilling to release him into the city, decided to escort him to a hotel near the airport. He was instructed to stay there while authorities conducted further investigations. And then he disappeared. No staff saw him leave. No signs of entry or exit were recorded. He and all of his documents vanished as if they had never existed. The story was quietly recorded by local police reports, yet it has resurfaced in fragments and retellings over the years. Historians and writers have puzzled over it, speculating on explanations. Some suggested an elaborate hoax. Others wondered if he had slipped through a bureaucratic oversight or misidentification. Few, if any, accepted that the disappearance was ordinary. It is unclear whether the man was intentionally deceptive or simply a victim of circumstances beyond his understanding. There are no reliable records of his arrival in Europe before or after the incident. No family, no business associates, no travel history outside the documents found in his briefcase. Yet every detail he provided, small businesses, street names, local customs, appeared plausible. The case remains an unsolved anomaly. Some have likened it to folklore, stories of travelers from elsewhere. Others treat it as a historical footnote, a curious entry in airport logs and police files. There is no consensus, and perhaps that is what makes it enduring. It is not a tale of adventure or heroism. It is not frightening or alarming. It is quietly puzzling. A brief encounter that left no trace, recorded only in the margins of administrative paperwork. It reminds us how fragile our understanding of the world can be, how reliant we are on maps, documents, and shared knowledge to define reality. The man from Taured may have been real. He may have been mistaken, misunderstood, or lost. Or perhaps he came from somewhere we cannot place, a border that exists only at the edges of memory and story. What is certain is that, for a brief moment in 1954, a single individual challenged the accepted geography of the world. He crossed a threshold and vanished, leaving only questions behind. We may never know his origins. We may never know his fate. Yet the story endures quietly in the records that survived and in the imagination it still evokes. It lingers not because it shocks, but because it quietly disrupts our assumptions. It whispers of possibilities beyond what we accept as ordinary. And in that whisper it remains, faint but persistent, a small mystery at the edge of history.